Aaron Rodgers next year.
Who?
Since he's Titans.
Oh no, we're not.
Can they even afford him?
I don't.
Anybody can afford him right now.
All I want is for them to start a team in San Antonio, and then I'm gonna switch. That's all I care about. Okay, so I went live. It says it's live.
Yeah, it shows that it's live, I think.
Yeah, but I'm not. The only thing I'm seeing is the top header part. Let's go to. That says live. Hey, look at there. There we are. Uno, dos, tres.
There we go. Hello, hello.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Good deal. We are good.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Try to see if
you were here.
Edit it from my phone before we start.
Okay.
I know how to do it on my computer, but I don't know if it'll let me on my phone.
What are you trying to do?
Edit the description. I got a description or whatever that I got from our good friends at AICity.com.
Yeah, sure. Come on. What do you have the description?
Yeah, I could just text it to you, I suppose.
Text it to me real quick. I can throw it on here. Hello, everybody. Hello. Comments. Hello, Rusty.
And then
yellow. That's the way my father always answered the phone. Yellow.
And then the top part where it says live now is the title. Live now, Bwaaa, whatever. That's the title. And then the bottom part of it is all the description. Yellow. What's up there, Rusty?
I'm liking it. Okay, so this whole thing.
Yeah, like I said, just the
who sent this?
ChatGPT.
Oh, okay, nice. Our friend Chat.
I had to edit it a little bit because it was
dumb.
A little weird. Yeah, there's some weirdness to it.
It happens.
That and they picked they made up their own episode for season 7.
Oh, really?
5, so I had to refine it a little bit. Yeah,
that's kind of nice.
Some NASCAR episode or something.
NASCAR episode, neat.
Yeah, never heard of it.
Neato. Let's see, let me grab that real quick. Okay, so live now, boy.
Yeah, the live now part. That's the title. Yeah.
Does it go? Do you
What's
want
up,
me to
Nod?
use y'all ready for some doggone good fun or not? Or is that where the description starts?
Hold on, let me see. Yeah, it's just that first. It's just that. I mean, you could use that if you wanted to, but it's just the
all good.
The live now or whatever. Just that part is for the
and all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah,
got it. Thank you for being here, Nod.
Yeah,
hey, Nod.
It's one of my buddies.
Yeah, Nod and Rusty, and Rusty, and Rusty,
and Rusty.
So many Rusties.
I might take my hoodie off. It's a little warm in here.
So many little Rusties. Let's see. Let's do the same thing. My wife was so nice this morning. She got up and she goes, "You want me to make you some breakfast?" I was like, "Yes, please."
Oh, that's really nice.
And then she started making this casserole, and I'm like,
maybe
gotta
not
be there at 11. And she's like, "Oh shit!" And so I ended up having to scoop some of it out, kind of liquidy still, and microwave it. But it was very good.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, it was great.
Some liquid casserole.
She had biscuits and bacon and cheese and eggs. And you ready to do this?
Yeah, let's get it.
Hey, where do we sit as far as stuff we've already got recorded?
This Monday has to come out tomorrow.
Okay. And, this one has to come out tomorrow?
Yeah,
okay.
I think we're caught up.
Okay.
Yeah, we're caught up with our
But we've got some Fridays or bonuses though, right? Because of what I did. Like last week I did 2. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, we're going to do a Friday anyway. I'm just asking. All right, folks, here we go.
through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. That drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares, but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go.
Hey, looky here. It's time to get to work.
It is. We are
Welcome to
Bwaaa.
King of the Hill podcast. I'm Mike.
here. And I am Rusty.
He is alive. He has
I'm
risen.
alive. I've risen.
After 3 weeks in his tomb, he rolled the mucus stone out of the way and came back. Hey, welcome to 2025 as well.
Yep.
That's a big deal.
Here.
This is going to be a weird year, and I'm here for it. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so we are King of the Hill, season 7, episode 5, or in the year of our Lord 7 ABE02. So this one's 3 episodes off, basically, right?
Yeah,
It was
is.
supposed to be. This is supposed to be episode 5, but this is one that they moved around from 2. Dances with Dogs.
Which would be
OZ.
a Dances with Wolves reference.
Yeah. Yeah,
released
you know, I
in
was talking about
1990.
Kevin Costner last night, and how he got a big head and left Yellowstone, which seems like the stupidest thing he's ever done.
Yeah,
If you
I'm
don't
not
count
sure
Robin
about
Hood,
that.
it seems like
Yeah.
the stupidest thing he's ever
Actually, you know, I went through and started watching shows on Paramount.
Yeah.
I haven't watched TV really in a long time,
Yeah.
like actual what's going on. And I started watching them, and I went and looked at the writer of all the shows I'd been watching. It was
Sheridan.
Taylor Sheridan. It
Yeah.
was the mayor of Kingstown.
Mhm.
It was
Landman.
Landman. It was what was the other one called?
There's a Lioness.
The Lioness, that
Yeah.
one. I watched all 3 of those all the
My
way
wife
through.
says that one's really good. I haven't
Lioness?
really watched any of his stuff.
Linus is pretty good. Landman is fantastic.
Yeah, they said Landman's really good.
Landman is fantastic because it's a
'Cause
very
it's like
Texas.
almost made for Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, it's like a Texas-esque show. Yeah, well, it is
Mm-hmm.
not esque. It is Texas, so it's like a real Texas show. So it's like, oh, okay, you know. So it's got a lot of relatable geographical stuff. So
I have a new coffee mug for 2025.
oh yeah,
And here's
Well, I
the
do too,
biggest
actually.
issue, and I know this is great for audio, but the biggest issue is this little cap that goes on it. What I kept doing is knocking the other ones over in my truck,
yeah.
and it would spill everywhere. Now I have a lid.
Well, see,
The
I
amazing what
also
you'll spend
got a
$20
mug.
on.
It's actually made for tea, and it came with like a
Oh, yeah,
metal
that's cool.
strainer. But the only issue I have with is
Hold it up
that's
so people can see it.
that's the lid is just
Oh, it just fits barely. Yeah,
barely fits. Like
it's nice though.
it is a nice mug. It
It's a
keeps it
beautiful
really,
mug.
really warm. It's
Welcome
it's
to
very
Mug Talk.
insulated. Mug
Hey,
chat.
okay, this originally aired December 1st, 2002, so we're
Yep.
really not that far off as far as timing wise goes.
No, we're not. We're only a few months out.
Yeah, we're
I
about
think
a-
we've been that way for a while now. We've only been like a couple of.
Well,
like
I
a month or
remember,
so away.
you know, a few seasons ago we were like doing a Christmas episode in July or something.
Yeah,
you know, it
yeah,
was, like,
yeah.
right
So
in the
now
middle, but-
we're aligned with it
Yeah,
a
it's
little,
never
little bit at
perfect.
least.
All right, so in this one, Bobby and Hank compete in a dog dancing contest. This is definitely like a bottle episode because it has nothing to do with any sort
Anything.
of storyline or anything like
Yeah.
that. This was directed by Anthony Leoy and Clay Hall. Writers are Mike Judge, Greg Daniels, and Norm Hiscock. Do you know Norm Hiscock?
Not personally.
Old time comedian,
Okay.
Norm Hiscock.
So he did comedy before he did writing. Then.
I believe so.
Oh yeah, I wanted to shout out to Gary Yap. Gary Yap is a
Yap.
storyboard director, works in the animation department and stuff
Yeah.
like that on King of the Hill in the earliest like sense of King of the Hill, and he worked for it for quite a while. So he found us organically on YouTube, which I think is one of the coolest
Hey, Gary
things
Yap.
to happen yet in the top 10 cool things for what's happened for our podcast.
You said that he just got in touch with you about one that he listened to, and we made a Napoleon Dynamite reference. And
Yeah,
he
it was
like, thumbs up for that.
season 2, episode something or another.
Oh,
I can't
wow.
remember the exact episode, but
Went
it was
way
like
back.
way back in the early episodes, and he managed to organically find us. So I think it's real cool that
Very
an
cool.
actual creator of the show happened to be
Love
surfing
that.
through YouTube, and we popped up into his his feed, and now he's
Love it.
going back and watching us from the beginning. So
That's really awesome. Man.
once you get to season 7, episode 5, thanks, Gary. We
Thanks, Gary.
appreciate you. Yeah.
We'll see you in the future.
We'll see you soon, bud.
All right. So this one starts, by the way, No Bell, No Yell, which we haven't had for a long time, not even to begin or in this last season.
Yeah, no, it's been a while. Yeah.
We started at the Hill House. We're in the living room. It's Bobby, Hank, and Peggy. Peggy is looking through her purse. She goes, Hank, I found the coupons. Oh, they've expired. And Hank says, oh, dang it. Oh, heck, I'm really in the mood for some ice cream. Let's just pay the full price. That's a big deal as far as I'm concerned for Hank.
Oh, the
because
coupons,
I can't imagine. I know me. I don't like paying full price for anything.
I don't like. No, I don't either.
And so
I don't think anybody likes paying full price for anything.
I don't know. People they don't. I don't know.
Well, it's like the
use coupons.
It's like sales, like 50% off, and you weren't going to spend the money to begin with, so you don't really save money. It's like to say, we save you over 50% or 25% when they don't really save you anything because you're still you're spending money.
You know the one I hate is Kohl's. When you go to Kohl's, they circle the thing on the receipt and they go, hey, thanks for shopping with us today. You saved $493. No, I didn't.
Yeah,
no,
they do that.
I did not.
They do that at a lot of stores.
That's not a thing.
Or when you check out at HEB and you get through checking out and you look at the bottom, it says you saved $2.42. And it's like, I just spent $400 on food.
Yeah. All right. So he just says, screw it. Let's just pay full price. Bobby is on the couch, kind of slouching there with his Game Boy. He says, you guys go on ahead without me. I'm sticking to my New Year's resolution. Ice cream once a day. What a resolution, huh? Only once a day.
What a resolution, yeah.
Hank says,
not a good one, but one.
He goes, attaboy, Bobby. Nothing tastes sweeter than self-discipline. Does it, Hank? Okay. They leave. Bobby goes to the window and kind of peeks out and watches them leave. And under his breath, he's like, that's right. You go get your ice cream. And then he gets a VHS tape from under the couch, which I can't imagine it's the greatest hiding place, but he gets a VHS tape out, and all I can think is Bobby's about to whack it. That's really that's what I thought.
He's pulling out the old porno.
Bobby's got his little porno.
The song that's on the VHS tape. This is my Artie notes. First Artie notes of the year.
Yeah.
He says the song is on the VHS tape is Twist and Shout.
Mm-hmm.
It was originally recorded by the Top Notes. It didn't become a hit until it was recorded by the Isley Brothers in 1962. It's been covered by the Beatles, Salt and Pepper, the Astronauts, Chaka Demus, and Pliers.
The Beatles.
I don't know who the last two are.
The Beatles version was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
And
I remember it had a little bit of a resurgence because I can remember buying a 45 of that because it was in.
Oh, the Beatles 45? Yeah.
Because it was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I thought you were about to say a gun. I was like I bought a 45.
Yeah, I bought a 45. He goes, that's right. You go get your ice cream. He gets his VHS out from under the couch. And then he puts it in, and you see the twisting, shouting, all that stuff, and you see people dancing with dogs on the screen.
Yep.
And by that, I mean the dogs are on their back legs, and they've got their front legs, and they're just kind of dancing around with them.
So I got another really quick artifact to knock out of the way. When you see the dogs dancing, that's known as musical canine freestyle.
Okay.
Which is a real thing. It's also known as musical freestyle dancing, and canine freestyle. Started in many places almost simultaneously around 1989. So it all kind of sprouted at the same time.
Still have
there was an underground movement. I have no clue if they still have or not, but they says currently. So let me get down to that part. So it says the demonstration is being shown in Canada, England, the United States, and the Netherlands, and it was all within like 3 years of each other. So it was like this underground movement of dog dancing. And then the first official musical freestyle group was the Musical Canine Sports International, which was founded in British Columbia in Canada in 1991. So currently, the current organizations that run this are Rally Freestyle Elements, which is the USA, the World Canine Freestyle Organization, which is the USA, Canine Freestyle Federation USA, Dogs Can Dance USA, Musical Dog Sport Association USA, Pause to Dance Canine Freestyle Organization, which is in Canada, Canine Freestyle GB, which is Great Britain, and then Perfect Canine Freestyle Club in Japan.
I love that.
So yeah, there is an actual underground movement, and it might be above ground at this point. Movement of dog dancing.
All right, so one of the things that brings me the most joy in life is the AKC dog show.
Yeah, I like
that
that.
they
They,
put
don't they
on
do it on
TV.
Thanksgiving? Is that what
Yeah,
it
they do it
is?
on Thanksgiving, but then
Yeah.
there's a follow-up like a couple weeks later or whatever. I think I just missed this one. But I love watching it. And the only reason is my brain can completely check out. I just watch some dogs run around. You know, I mean, it's fun to watch.
Yeah, I don't
So
mind that,
if
but the
this
dog
were
dancing
on,
thing would.
if this were on, I'd watch it.
I don't know that
I would definitely
honestly.
watch it. Yeah, I want to see people dancing with dogs. So he's like, "Hey, Ladybird, you ready, girl?" And he gets her and starts dancing with her, and he's like, "Yeah, Ladybird, Ladybird." And then we flash to outside. Hank and Peggy are back unexpectedly. So again, it's like they interrupted him whacking it or whatever, you know. But he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Peggy. It's just that kid stuck his fingers in the ice cream and ruined the mood." And then they start going back in. And Bobby is in there dancing with Ladybird, and he's like, "Oh, and turn and this and this," and he turns, and Hank is just standing there watching Bobby dance with Ladybird. Yeah,
He's not ecstatic about
and
it.
Bobby's
That's
like,
for sure.
"Whoa!" He goes, "Bobby, what the hell are you doing with my dog?" He goes, "It's," and he's standing in front of the TV, like trying to cover up what he's watching. He says,
Like a porn, like
exactly.
like he doesn't have to cover it up. It's just dogs dancing on TV.
He's like, it's extreme training. He goes, look like dancing to me. And, all right, it was dancing. It's called Musical Canine Freestyle. Liar. He just calls him a liar.
That can't be real.
He says, no. Look, it's a real thing. And he shows him the TV. He goes, they have contests and everything. It started up in Canada. Hank, of course, I love this. He goes, they're supposed to be our allies.
Yeah, I like that.
That's
yeah.
fantastic.
That's good.
He goes, Dad, it's okay.
The 50, the 52nd state.
That's right.
Yeah.
He said, Dad, it's okay. The routine we worked out is low impact, and Ladybird loves it. He goes, she's 13 years old. If I hadn't stopped you when I did, you could have displaced her hip. He says, but we were training for a contest in McManerbury. He goes, no. I mean, he's no more dancing.
Yeah, he's not ecstatic about any of this. He's not happy.
Or any other Canadian tricks. He goes, she's got arthritis. He looks at Ladybird and goes, who's got arthritis? Yes, you do. Come on, girl, it's time for a nap. Who's got arthritis? I wish I could have remembered this when my grandparents were alive, because I would look at them and go, who's got arthritis?
I guess
I look in the mirror now.
I'm arthritic.
Oh yeah.
As a young 35-year-old man, I actually have it's in my back, my lower back, spinal stenosis, I think is what they call it.
Yeah. I've got spinal stenosis everywhere, not just in my back. It says, oh, look, there's Black Ant came in.
Well, yep. Snow day at work today. Congratulations. We're looking at a couple of snow days next week.
He says,
ice days.
He says, yes, you do. Come on, girl. Time for your nap. I'll turn on the dryer to help you sleep. And he walks off with her. Now we're in the alley, all four guys. So we got Boomhauer, Dale, Bill, and Hank. And Hank is standing there and he's just like, oh, just when I think the boy is acting normal, I catch him dancing with Ladybird. Oh, and he had her wearing a bandana. I mean, that's the big part. He
doesn't even care about the dancing too much.
Now, what he does with this dog later, it's so far and above just a bandana.
Yeah, he goes further. He takes it further than Bobby had it. Like Bobby was just dancing in the living room, having a good time with the dog, not really thinking about the competitive nature of the sport.
No,
he's just doing it just to be Bobby. And then Hank, he takes it to like the 10th level kind of thing.
Boomhauer responds to the bandana comment. He's like, dog, man, best friend, man, talking about getting to dress him up like no dang old little poodle. Man, dang old dog, man, no dignity, man, no dignity. No dignity.
No dignity.
He goes, exactly, Boomhauer. Then, of course, we get Dale. Psst, dancing with dogs is ridiculous. Next thing you know, they'll have them smoking. Hey, that's not a bad idea. Doggy cigarettes. I thought of it first. Bill says,
I've never seen a dog smoking a cigarette, but there are
monkeys.
A lot of old Hollywood pre-code movies where they have chimpanzees smoking cigarettes.
Monkeys love those cigarettes. Monkeys love those cigarettes. He says, Bill looks at him and goes, like he's not paying attention to anything Dale says.
No, he doesn't care.
What kind of dance were they doing, Hank? He goes, oh, I don't know, the twist. Why? He goes, Bobby should be severely punished. What was he thinking? It's a jackass sport. Excuse me, I have to attend a personal matter of passing importance. And he just walks off, right? Bill never leaves the group.
Nah, Bill's the last one standing. I imagine Bill's still standing in the alley when everybody's inside.
I just love the quote from Dale. He goes, Bill's so busy these days. Like he's just been off doing these things. Okay, so now we're Bobby and Connie are talking. They're in Connie's kitchen, so at Khan's house. Black Ant says there's a famous chimp in North Korea that smokes. The staff gave him cigarettes as the only form of entertainment. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I believe it.
yeah.
You could actually
Those chimps get attached to those cigarettes pretty easily.
There's actually a pirate stream, if you want to call it that, of North Korean state television that you can watch. I mean, you just Google it and you can find it, I'm sure. But there's a guy that I imagine it's a South Korean that gets the airwaves and puts them onto the internet. And he's probably not the only one that does it, but the specific one. And it really is, I don't understand Korean, but just watching it, it is really kind of, it's dystopian to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you feel like it's like,
well, they eat each other.
You're watching this apocalypse movie, and then there's like a TV on in the background.
Yeah,
and that's what it feels like. It feels like it's like this apocalyptic thing in the background. It's kind of weird.
Very apocalyptic.
I watched it,
there.
and then I watched it for like 20 minutes, and I was like, I'm probably gonna be on a list for this.
Yeah,
I might want to turn this
that's
off.
Exactly right.
Especially with everything that's going on nowadays.
Bobby and Connie are sitting in her kitchen and they're talking, and Bobby's like, I'm gonna miss dancing with that dog. Connie says, I dance with the seniors down at the nursing home. Maybe that would cheer you up. It'd be nice to have a boy there for a change. He goes, have you been listening? I want to dance with dogs, not old people. Jeez. He looks out the window and he sees their dog, Doggy, chasing a squirrel. Doggy. And Doggy is like this little yappy dog. So he starts doing flips and all kinds of stuff. And he's like, hey. So he already is thinking, okay, I bet I can dance with that dog. Now you've got Hank and Ladybird in the garage. We hear the radio on, and the radio's like, when you see him in person, he really is a monster. And the other guy says, he's 5 feet if he's an inch. 5 feet is a monster?
That's,
okay.
Yeah. I guess for a dog, that's kind of a big dog.
It's playing, and Hank says, this new planer really does the trick, huh, Ladybird? He's planing like wood, trying out.
Oh, yeah.
And it changes to this slow Western swing music. I think it's the Patsy Cline song.
Patsy Cline.
Patsy Cline song
walk
comes on. Yeah, that's what.
After midnight. I was speaking of Patsy Cline. I got 3 concerts next year, which is like my biggest. I've been to tons of concerts of like regional music, Texas music, Southwest music, but I get to go to Willie Nelson in April, Jelly Roll, and I think I've talked about it before. Willie Nelson going to be in New Braunfels with Robert Earl Keen.
Okay.
And I'm more excited for that one than I am for any of them because all the other people are in their 30s and still alive. This is Willie Nelson's, I'm not saying it's his last ride, so to speak.
Close. Yep,
but
close.
He's at that point where they insure your tickets automatically. Like you don't have to pay for the insurance. Your tickets are automatically insured because he is that old of a musician. So I'm really excited for that. Yes, because he wrote Crazy for Patsy.
Oh, he wrote a ton of songs. Yeah,
a lot of good stuff. Wrote When Time Slips Away or whatever it's called for Fair and Young.
My favorite Willie Nelson song or Willie Nelson album is the what's the one Starlight or whatever. It's
that was the one.
That was the one. A bunch of covers.
Stardust, I think is what
Stardust.
It's called.
There you go.
That was the one he did in the '80s. That was like when he had finally got away from all the labels and stuff like that. He went. I can't remember what label it was that he signed with at that time, but he signed with whatever label that label that he did that album with was, and the producer or whatever, the executive of the label was like, you do your music. You do it the way you want to do it.
Yeah.
You go and collect and he did a bunch of standards.
Crazy looking at Willie Nelson like back in the 60s where he has short hair and he's dressed in that Western swing
well
suit
that's the
and all
thing
that stuff.
is the reason why he left Nashville was because he hated the sound of 80s. Like the 80s, they started using a lot of computers and stuff, like a lot of synthesizers, and he was like, this isn't. He said, because he was, you gotta think he was there. He was working on radios at the beginning of rock and roll in the late 50s, early 60s, and then he was there for like probably like one of the biggest eras for country music in the 60s, and he was writing for some of the biggest artists. And once it kind of started to go like he couldn't be him, he couldn't be himself. So that's when he went.
Sure.
He started the outlaw movement or whatever, and went to Austin, where it's like hippies and rednecks all like meshed together, and he was just doing his thing down there. And I think that's one of the reasons why he's had the longevity that he's had, is because he separated. It's kind of like what Snoop Dogg has done. They separate themselves from the industry that they started in, and they branched out and did so many other different things that it's really like household name. There's not, Snoop Dogg in 1990 probably would have never thought he would be a household name, but he could get sponsorships that nobody else can get that smokes weed.
He just sponsored a bowl. He had a college bowl. It was the Snoop Dogg bowl.
Yeah, he did. So, and it's the thing with him that blows my mind is that in most people that openly smoke weed, even still today, in the how accepting it and all, the new acceptance of it, he still is the only one that can get some of these massive sponsorships and still smoke.
Oh, sure.
And then he says here, Willie Nelson used to smoke pot on the roof of the White House with Carter's kid, which I wasn't here for it to say it because I was out last week. But rest in peace, Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Lady Bird hears this song come on and comes over and starts nudging.
She wants to dance.
Yeah, she starts nudging Hank in the leg. And he goes, "Oh, watch it, Lady Bird. Daddy's using the planer. Damn it, why can't I say planer?" He goes, what is it, Lady Bird? You like that music, huh, girl? She kind of jumps up and he grabs her paws and starts kind of walk dancing with her and says, "Lady Bird, you're a beautiful dancer." And she's just walking back and forth, but okay. Now we are at the Arlen Animal Shelter. Hey, Artie. We're at the Arlen Animal Shelter, and Bill is walking through the kennels with two guys
looking for a dog
that work there. And he's I'm looking to adopt a dog that could be a good dancing partner, one that really cut a rug. I was thinking maybe a long hair. I like long hair. And the shelter guy looks at this dog, points at it, and the only thing I can compare it to is maybe a Rottweiler that is very pissed off.
Yeah, it
has a muzzle on.
A mean dog.
Ooh,
it doesn't look like a dog that likes to do anything.
The guys are kind of making fun of Bill and exchanging side eyes and stuff. And he goes, "Hey, that one there?" He goes, "Yeah, well, he looks like he's strong and he's certainly got a lot of energy because the dog's just going nuts inside this little glass cubicle." He goes, "Are they a good breed for dog dancing?" The guy looks at the other guy and kind of goes, "Yeah, they're bred for dancing." He goes, "Oh, I hope you like rock and roll," talking to the dog. Now we're at
That's how gullible he is, though, because
the
second I saw a dog in a muzzle anywhere, whether it be a kennel or not, I'm hesitant. Yeah, you know what? Maybe that dog's not. Keep it over there. One.
Now we're at Con's house with Bobby, Connie, and Con outside with Doggy. And Con says, "So you want to dance with my dog? But what's in it for the big dog? Me, Con." He goes, "How about you pick up Doggy's poo from my yard? That way, child prodigy Connie gets to study more. Poo picking hillbilly get to dance with dog. Universe in harmony." He goes, Bobby says, "He's a small dog. How bad could it be?" Connie looks at him and just goes, "Yeah." He says, "Deal." He goes, "You start now." Hands him a plastic bag. He goes down to pick it up and he's just like, "Oh, geez, what are you feeding him?" Because it's a big steaming pile.
Big steaming pile of dookie. Little dogs can poop big poops too.
Boy, you ain't kidding. Okay, so we're back at the Hill House. Peggy's out watering plants. Hank is pulling out of the garage in the truck. By the way, how many times do you think we see Hank pulling out of the garage with his truck? You never see the truck parked in the garage.
Not inside the garage. It's usually Peggy's big Lincoln or whatever it is.
Yeah,
she drives big Buick.
Backing out of the garage. I just thought that was kind of unique. He goes, "Just gonna get gas," and he backs out. And as soon as he starts driving, you see Lady Bird's head pop up over in the passenger seat, and then we see kind of like that overview shot we see of Arlen sometimes.
Yeah,
but it's at night.
The swooping pan shot. Yeah,
but it's at night and it's up on that cliff. And Hank's got his car parked and the lights shining, and he's out there just dancing with the dog
out in the woods.
to the I go out walking. Yeah. Next morning, we're back at the Hill House. Hank comes through and he goes, "Hey, Peggy, you notice anything different about Lady Bird?" She goes, "Is left side of her face paralyzed?" Fantastic. And he says, no, she's lost 2 pounds. She goes, "Oh, tapeworm. That was my second guess." God dang, Peggy.
Wow.
He goes, no, since I've been walking her more, she's been getting in great shape. Listen, no creaking joints. I've stopped giving her anti-inflammatory medicine. The ladybird goes, Ruff. He goes, even her bark sounds more youthful. She's like a puppy again. You know, I'm going to keep walking her. I don't care what anybody thinks. I love you, Peggy. He leaves with the dog. It's just such a weird interaction.
It is a weird interaction. It's like he's saying, I love you to the dog, not
yeah,
Peggy.
Yeah. Now, Hank is in the living room with Ladybird, and he's looking through a photo album of things that Ladybird has done, I guess.
Yeah, he's reminiscent about her youthful days.
He goes, hey, Ladybird, remember when you won this ribbon for cutest puppy at the mall? Huh? Do you? Labor Day? He goes, remember that? Huh? Do you? Fall of 99? Huh? Do you remember? She goes, Burr. He says, yeah, me too. Let's win you another ribbon, girl. Now we go to the musical Canine freestyle, and it's the registration table, and you see oh, by the way, this is at the McMainer Hotel, and we're in the, you know, obviously the ballroom or whatever. Hank says she's named after former First Lady Lady Bird Johnson. He's filling out the forms, and then behind him, you hear Bobby's voice pop up. He goes, so there's no limit to the number of sequins an entrant can have on his costume. Can I get that in writing? he overhears it, and he's like, oh, shit. You know, and he's like trying to get away. But the lady at the table is like, Mr. Hill, you forgot your pen. Bobby turns around and says, Dad, what are you doing here? He goes, okay, I know what this looks like, and it is what it is. He goes, you lied. You made me think dog dancing was for weirdos. He goes, wait a minute. That's Khan's dog. You're dancing with the neighbor's dog against me and Ladybird? Bobby says, well, what was I supposed to do? Not dog dance?
This is hilarious. Bobby is really defiant right here.
What am I supposed to do? Not dance with a dog? And anyway, you said Ladybird was too old to dance. If you pumped her full of pain pills, I'll make sure you're both disqualified.
Yeah, that's funny. I love that.
Hank's like, well, what do you care? Looks like you dance with any dog that'll have you. He goes, oh, he's not just any dog. This little fella may poo like a buffalo, but he dances like Britney Spears.
That's funny.
Hank says, oh, yeah? Well, I think this pup's going to surprise you with a few moves of her own, talking about Ladybird. Bobby says, I believe it's up to the judges to decide who's got the moves and who doesn't. I'll see you out on the dance floor. And then he just like goes, pew, spins around and does a couple of spins in front of the dog. And he goes, that's just a little taste, Dad, Ladybird. And he takes off. And that is our first commercial break. We will take that, and we will be right. We're going to be right
back.
There it is. We got it. And we are
back.
There it is.
We're here.
Bobby is out on the back porch with Doggy, and he is in aerobics clothing. Like Bobby's got a headband and like leg
He's
warmers.
ready to sweat it out with the
whole
oldies.
thing. Yeah, he's behind the glass door. Hank is inside. He has the glass door locked, and he's yelling at Bobby. They're yelling at each other through the glass door. Bobby says, just let us in. We'll go straight to my room. We need to practice. He goes, you're dancing with the neighbor's dog. Go dance at the neighbor's. Come on, leave or I'll call the pound. He called the pound.
Leave or I'll call the pound.
He says, you're scared, old man. You're scared of my moves. He goes, oh, that's crazy. Peggy opens up the door, lets Bobby right in. She goes, Hank, this is all very simple. You both want to dance with dogs, right? You each have a dog that you can dance with. You take your dog to the garage. You take with her there, or you dance with her there. Bobby gets to dance with the dog in his bedroom. Everybody gets to dance with the dog. Everybody wins. That's the first sane thing that Peggy has said in quite a while.
Yeah,
you take your dog there, you take your dog there, and we're done. Yeah, that's it. All right, Bill is with the very mean dog.
They're doing Achy Breaky Heart by Billy Ray Cyrus.
He turns on the Achy Breaky Heart, and the dog, again, wearing a muzzle, very mean. It seems like he is going to just eat Bill.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to turn out good for Bill.
No.
It doesn't look very good.
He goes, you ready to dance, Rex? Of course you are. It's in your blood. He takes off the muzzle, and the dog literally goes right for him, rips his
Immediately.
shirt in half, just starts chewing
Tearing
on
him up.
everything.
Yeah, like
he
a
goes,
bad decision.
"Oh, you want to lead? Is that it, boy?" The dog chases him. The dog jumps on the couch, starts ripping it in half. Bill barricades himself in his bedroom. The dog is just pounding on the door. Bill is behind the door, and he's just like, "Oh, dear God." And then we go over to Hank's house. Hank is outside raking leaves, and he sees Bobby and Doggy practicing in Bobby's room. Now, Doggy is in a top hat and tails.
Yep.
He's jumping up and down with Bobby.
Little snazzy pup.
And Hank goes, "Oh, a costume." And then Bobby sees him. He closes the blinds immediately. Like, you're not cheating with me. Now Bill, you just hear, Rex, just move your paw. That's and he runs outside and holds the door down because the dog is coming after him. And the door is just bang, bang, bang because the dog is just
It's a big dog. Yeah.
Bill. Yeah. Now we go back over to Hank. Hank puts a little cowboy hat on him and on Lady Bird. He sees her in a mirror in the garage, which I thought was weird because I don't know that we've ever seen a mirror in Hank's garage.
Nah, I think that's a new
The
thing.
full-length mirror.
That must be a dancing thing.
He goes, "Now, I know this isn't our style, but you got to do what you got to do." He puts it on. He goes, "Oh, wow, Lady Bird, I think we're really going to win this thing." Bill bursts into the garage from inside of Hank's house, which is weird. That means he had to come through the front door and all the way through the garage. He goes, "Oh, Bill." He goes, "Hank, I know you don't like dog dancing, but I need your advice." Hank is trying to hide Lady Bird,
which is even weirder if you think about it.
Yeah,
because he had to go all the way around to the front street to go through the house.
Yeah,
like I can understand him going through the screen door and meeting Hank inside the sliding door, but he would have to go through the front door and then
or coming up and banging
house
on the garage door or
something
right?
like that. Yeah.
He goes, "Hank, I know you don't like dog dancing, but I need your advice. I bought a dog to dance with. It won't dance with me. It's all my fault. I'm doing something to push it away, just like I pushed away Lenore." Hank's like, "Oh, Bill, this isn't a good time. I'm kind of in the middle of something." And Bill kind of takes a look at Lady Bird and goes, "Oh, doesn't Lady Bird look cute in that hat?" By the way, Bill is just covered in scratches and
tore
wounds,
up. Yeah,
and his clothes are all
the dog
ripped.
is mauling him.
And he goes, "Oh, Hank, you're dog dancing." He goes, "Oh, look, you cannot tell Dale or Boomhauer about this, okay? They wouldn't understand." He goes, "No, of course not. They're idiots.
They're idiots."
Oh, isn't dog dancing wonderful, Hank?" He goes, "Yes." He goes, "What am I going to do? What am I doing to make the dog hate me, Hank? Why am I so repulsive?" He goes, "You're not repulsive, Bill." Well, maybe." He goes, "Yes." He goes, "Maybe it's the song you picked." He goes, "The song. Yes, the song. What about the song?" He goes, "Let your dog help you choose the song. Just don't let him pick something like Doggy in the Window or Hound Dog. It's too obvious." "Wait, why am I telling you this? You're not entering the competition, are you?" He goes, "Well, yeah, I thought." He goes, "Get out." And
Once he realized he was doing the competition,
get the hell out of here.
Get out of here.
All right, now we're at the dinner table with Peggy, Hank, and Bobby, and it is very tense. No words are being said.
Yeah,
Peggy finally picks up a spoonful of whatever they're eating. She goes, "This is good, nice and salty."
Ew.
Nice and salty. She goes, "I said the funniest thing today." Well, almost. She's trying to start,
She's trying to do something. Yeah.
Hank says, "Are you going to finish that gristle?" He's talking to Bobby. Bobby says, "Yes, as a matter of fact, I am." He goes, "But you never eat your gristle. You always give it to Lady Bird." He shoves it in his mouth and he starts chewing on this gristle and fat. He goes, "Spit it out. Spit it out. You don't even like gristle." He goes, "But I do like the taste of you not getting it." I mean, that's rough.
They're getting super competitive now.
Peggy says, "Hank, Bobby, stop it. No ribbon is more important than your family. For God's sake, you are fighting over fat." Hank says, "Yeah, all right, you're right. Let me make it up to both of you. Peggy, let's go out dancing like we usually do and let Bobby and Doggy have the house to practice alone." And Bobby says, "But you have to lock Lady Bird in the garage." He goes, "Of course." So now we transition over to Uglies, a cowboy saloon. Uglies.
That's a good name for a saloon.
And so they're out dancing. They're all dressed up. They got the cowboy hats on. They got their Western dancing clothes on. Peggy says, "Oh, it is certainly nice to get out of the house. It's been so tense with all the arguing and barking." Hank says, "Oh, I'm glad you're having fun because you deserve it." He dips her. She goes, "Oh, Hank, you are dip crazy tonight." He goes, "Yep. So, since you brought it up, do you know if Bobby does any dips in his routine?"
This is hilarious. Yeah, he said they're trying to get information out of him.
Noticed? She goes, "Are you pumping me for information?" He goes, "How much backwards walking are they doing? A little, average, a lot?" She goes, Hank, I'm trying really hard to remain neutral here. I thought you wanted to dance with me. He goes, oh, no, I do. You're right. It's just you and me, Lady Bird. Oh, she goes, what? You just blew it, mister. Fine. You know what? I hope Bobby wins. And she starts to storm off.
That's rough. Calling
yeah.
your wife the dog's name?
The dog's
God
name. Not
dang.
even like an ex-girlfriend or anything. It's
Nothing.
the
It's
dog's
the name.
And he says, what? Oh, sure. You go home to Bobby and the neighbor's dog. And while you're at it, why don't you just move in with Con and men? You can eat rice all day and never celebrate Christmas. She goes, good luck, Hank. And she just walks off. He goes, it's got nothing to do with luck, Peggy. We're going to win this thing. You're making a big mistake. Lady Bird hates you. Is what
He's so petty, yeah.
And that is the second commercial break. This seems like it came up real fast, but we're going to take that and we will be right.
Oh, there's Gary Yap.
We'll be right. Say it.
Back.
There it is. Hey, Gary Yap. We'll be right back. And we are
back.
There it is.
And then Gary Yap in the chat. Thanks, Gary.
Yap.
Hi, guys. Can't stay, but I'll def catch the replay. Thanks for stopping by.
No kidding.
It's cool that you found us. You're the first person that's associated with the actual television show that's found us organically. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks, Gary.
Yeah, I'm digging that.
And thanks, Artie. Thanks, Black Ant.
Yeah, thanks
everybody.
Rusty.
Thanks, Nod. All you guys are great. We really appreciate it. Anybody who's in here right now. Okay, so we come back from commercial break, and
hold on. Yeah, Gary, you are the first person that's found us organically.
Yeah.
I have
really great.
Messaged out to other creators of the show, people that were attached to it. Wes Archer, I've communicated with back and forth, but since he's still actively working on the show, he's under a bunch of NDAs, so he can't really do anything for us at the moment. He wanted to be a part of it at the very beginning, but when we first started the show was right when they were getting ready to start production for the new show. So he was kind of like tied up. I really like his art direction. Yeah, we love his art direction. We mentioned his art direction frequently because he really did. He's really done some good stuff.
So we are Hank is watching from the inside. Peggy lets Bobby and Doggy in the car. And Hank says to her, what are they, or he's talking to Lady Bird.
Yeah.
What do they see in that yappy little rat? We can win this thing without him. And Bobby and Doggy are both in magician outfits, by the way. So that's good. And he goes, right, Lady Bird, you look great in that outfit, by the way. Got a hat and a shirt on and stuff. He sets it up so that he can go over and take a picture with Lady Bird.
Yeah,
so he puts it on a timer. He goes over to her and says, on the count of 3, everyone says bones. 1, 2, no, don't move. It's just the red eye. Bones. And the timer flashes and they take the picture.
With red eye.
Well, it's like it used to be with a camera, it would flash a couple of times like that, so it doesn't put the red eye in the picture.
Yeah. I remember. Been a while.
Like
been a while.
It out.
Yeah, been a while. Been a while since I've had flash photography.
All right, so we're back at the McManerberry Hotel. McManerberry Musical K9 Freestyle Championships is the big banner that's up.
Yeah.
Hank and Lady Bird are in there, and he goes, "Wow, these dogs are dressed to the nines. It's like they're going to dance at the White House."
Fancy dogs.
He goes, "Don't worry, Lady Bird. We're going to win this thing. Remember, it's not just about pageantry. It's about a man and his dog dancing together. That's what the people came to see, and that's what we're going to give them. It's our trump card. That's what we got all over these nut jobs, right, girl?" Then we see Bill back at his house.
He's still fighting Rex.
He has locked himself in the sliding glass shower to protect himself from this devilish dog. And he's like, "Oh, come on, Rex, settle down. We're going to be late for the competition."
I'm surprised the dog hasn't like calmed down at this point. Like,
well, the dog just wants to kill this man.
Generally, they wear themselves out, but he's still going. His hate for Bill supersedes everything.
And so Bill is like balancing in the shower, right, with the glass door shut, and he is able to reach a like a wooden back scratcher. Right. And so he reaches out with that back scratcher and gets to the medicine cabinet and opens it and knocks a pill bottle down and catches it, and just in time gets it, opens it up, throws all these pills on the ground.
It drugs the dog.
The dog goes straight out like he goes to sleep.
So is he just gonna like hold this lifeless dog and like slow dance with it?
He picks up the dog, carries it into the bedroom. Bill has an entire tuxedo on, and now he has a tuxedo shirt he wants to put on the dog. And so he starts putting it on and sees the dog kind of, move around a little bit. And he goes, oh, he's dreaming. And then we get a flash of the dream that the dog is having. And the dog is having a dream of literally just eating Bill.
Yeah.
Like eating him up. All right, now we're back at the hotel. I love these announcers, by the way. The announcer, let's have another big round of applause for Pam Taylor and her Irish setter, Sparkles. Hank says, Sparkles, more like fizzles.
That's a good joke. I like that.
The announcer says, still leaving the dance area. I'm Dud Jefferson, along with Skeech Randall. Dud Jefferson and Skeech Randall. I love their commentary. And we're just gosh darn happy to be here. And they're off to the dance floor. Next is up Hank Hill and his purebred bloodhound Ladybird. Are you ready to see more dancing? They're
golf clap
crowd.
Yeah, a bunch of golf clapping.
Yeah. You hear Hank say, okay, pup, this is it. I just wanted to apologize. He's talking to Bobby and Peggy, by the way, who are sitting in the audience also. He goes, I just wanted to apologize for what Ladybird and I are about to do. When? I mean, this has gotten gross. I mean, it's getting
ugly. It's like
I don't like each other.
It's getting dirty. Like,
so
has somebody sabotaged something here? Like, I don't know if there's been sabotage or not. At this
they start
point.
playing Patsy Cline's Walking After Midnight, and honestly, I mean, Hank is doing a good job. He's walking with Ladybird. She's coming under him.
Well, Hank doesn't like to lose, so Hank's going to be the best at whatever it is that he's trying to do.
But Hank's dance is not flashy. It's not very respectful to his dog, is what it is. But
it's a nice southern slow dance, little two-step.
They're very much in sync and dancing. But you hear the announcers. Wow, hello to you too, Hank Hill.
Yeah.
And the other one, Sketch, says, and what poise and mobility from that bloodhound, the feet, the hand, the tail, all moving as one unit. No wonder this proud bitch was named after our former first lady. Proud bitch. Peggy fakes a yawn.
Well, they call them that at the dog shows too.
Huh?
They just say that at the dog shows.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, they're bitches. Peggy fakes a yawn, and Bobby thinks that's super funny because they're kind of making fun of his dad. Then the guy with the clipboard out in the audience is getting everybody ready to dance with their dogs. He says, Bill Retrieve and Rex, you're on deck, and no muzzles. And Bill's like, yeah, but he goes, no muzzles. Those are rules. Oh, okay. They start to finish. Hank and Ladybird finish dancing, and he says, way to go, girl. It's not too late for you. He goes, way to go, girl. And he's talking to Bobby. He goes, not too late for you and Doggy to turn tail. And he kind of laughs at that because he thinks that's funny. Bobby says, take some notes because this is how people are going to be dog dancing from now on.
Whoa.
The announcers, they say, next up, Bobby Hill and his mixed terrier, Doggy. And then you get Tektronix Move This.
The 1999 hit.
Yeah. Yeah. Shake that body. Shake that body. They are so good at this.
They're really good at it.
There's a lot of jumping and hopping and running and
it's a lot more entertaining than watching Hank have some sensual experience with his dog.
And the announcers are like, we are witnessing a dream. I hope I never wake up and this dance lasts forever. A boy, a dog, and a dance.
I like that.
The judges, the crowd love it. Peggy stands up and claps. The crowd stands up and claps. You go, are they even touching the floor? Amazing. Then we go over to the alleyway, and it is just Boomhauer and Dale. And I love this cut because
this is funny. I really like this scene
too.
It's
so good because it's like what the hell's happening with these guys? Well, they're both just standing in the alley.
Yeah, boy,
Dale
the alley's dead today.
Oh, the alley's dead today. That's it. That's the entire.
That's it. Yeah.
The entire scene, and I absolutely love that. So we're back at the competition. Bobby's still dancing with the dog. The announcer says, I don't even know how to describe that move. The other one says, I wish everyone who denies the pure athleticism of dog dancing could see what I'm seeing right now. Everybody is applauding and all that. Hank looks at it and he goes, it's okay, Ladybird, all flash, no substance. Then the competition is over. Now we're later on in the day. There's judging taking place. Arthur says the commentators remind me of the ones calling the Boggle Championship.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of too.
And Bobby is the first time he's ever looked athletic, so that's great. We're at the judging part. and they're announcing it. They say, and the third prize for beginners off-leash musical freestyle goes to Rhonda Clark and her border collie, Rusty. Second prize goes to Bobby Hill and his neighbor's dog, Doggy. And first prize goes to, and Hank's like, all right, this is it, girl, Helen Bradley and her toy poodle Buddy. And then we see Hank. He's super friggin' sad.
Yeah, he's not happy about it.
And he sees everybody get on the. It's crazy to me that they have like an Olympic type podium. First, second, third place, standing up there getting their prizes. He looks at Lady Bird and he's like, "Well, we did our best, girl. It's a young dog sport. Come on, let's go home. Time for your nap." And they leave.
I like this scene right here.
It is nice because this
is
is what makes King of the Hill. It's a sweet tie up. Everybody's back to liking each other. Everything's back to the way it ought to be. You see them come back to the Hill house, and this is Hank and Lady Bird. He throws the costume in the trash as he comes into the garage, and he says, "You want to watch me paint, girl? It's semi-gloss." Like that makes a difference.
Yeah.
Lady Bird lays down over in the corner. He's got the radio on, and then Walking After Midnight comes on.
Yep.
Well, she gets up and she starts nudging him. He goes, "No, Lady Bird, that's not for us." She nudges him some more, and he goes, "Oh, how can I say no to that face?" He starts dancing with their dog again. Then Bobby and Peggy come out through the garage door, and they see him dancing. Everybody's smiling. We're back to normal. And he looks over at Bobby and says, "Care to cut in, son? There's someone else I would dance to." And then he and Peggy start to dance while Bobby and Lady Bird are dancing, and it fades out. That is it. Everybody's back to being the way to go. And Artie is right. It is an all Patsy Cline station, apparently.
WGBH access.
We hear we get the credits, and then afterwards we just hear Bill go, "Just move your paw." Ah! And he screams. And that's
a good one.
That is the end of the episode.
Not very many subplots.
No, wasn't a whole lot of subplots.
Just a straightforward episode.
Season 7, episode 5, 7ABE02, Dances with Dogs, aired December 1st, 2002. And I love this episode. It's a very sweet episode. Yes, Artie, it's a very sweet episode.
I like the music.
It's nice. It's again, it's a bottle episode, meaning that it's on its own. But I like those every once in a while,
Growing up with a dad who was born in 1960, and then his dad was born in 1912.
Yeah.
So a lot of the music my dad listened to, even when I was a little kid, was a lot of
old country,
late 30s, early 40s, 50s, early 60s stuff. So I got a lot of my music influence or whatever is from that era of music. And
well, if you just look at music in general,
Klein.
a lot of the influences is from that music.
Well, that's the thing that I don't think not a lot enough credit goes to is a lot of the guys that were writing those songs.
Oh, sure.
Because like Willie Nelson, if Willie Nelson wouldn't have been the guy he is, like personally, like there's so many writers that didn't get to do what he's done.
Yeah.
Like that's a personal thing for him to be how he is. Like you wouldn't have never known who Willie Nelson was other than a songwriter,
Like Ann says, he loves the cover of Patsy Cline's "Blue Moon of Kentucky," but
she does a good song.
I love Boomhauer's cover.
I like the Boomhauer, which is Vince Gill.
Yeah,
Vince Gill's version. Yeah.
Well, guys, we are back. We will right after this. We're going to do our Friday episode.
So stick around if you're on the live.
Artie's right. Also, Chris Christopherson wrote a ton.
Yeah, he wrote a ton of stuff. Yeah, Chris Christopherson did. That's why I like when Chris Christopherson, Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash, and Willie Nelson, the Highwaymen.
At the same time, Alan Thicke, if you remember who that is.
Yeah, I remember him.
He was like the man for any kind of TV show theme. He wrote like almost all of them.
Robin Thicke's dad, right?
Yeah.
The guy that
Alan
sings today.
Thicke,
Yeah.
he was the dad on that show. So he wrote a ton of TV themes, but there's a lot of folks out there that don't get the recognition they do. That's why I think it's a little different now. You said you're going to see what's his face?
Willie Nelson.
No, the other one.
Oh, Jelly Roll.
No, one more.
Who's
the guy that writes all the songs that's now
Post
like
Malone?
a singer now? Is Chris Stapleton.
Oh, Chris Stapleton.
Stapleton wrote music for forever. And Growing Pains. There you go. Chris Stapleton, it's a little bit different now because he came out and he was like, I'm going to sing now. And everybody's just like, oh my God, he's so good.
There's quite I think it's maybe more common now than it was then. Because
absolutely.
Taylor Swift, she writes all her music.
Yeah.
And she, from what I understand, she has a lot of participation in the arrangements and stuff too.
Oh, I'm sure.
She obviously started. It's funny because I was 14 years old when she started, and she was 14 too. So it was like age relatable kind of thing.
Tomorrow we start a live show. With a guy named Zach Owen, who's popular here in our local area.
Well, maybe more than local.
He's been in the radio
regional for sure.
Yeah, he's been in the radio for a long time. 30
that radio
years.
Station reaches almost to Dallas and almost to Austin.
But the reason I'm saying this is he told me a story a couple times ago about how they used to bring all these acts through the radio station, right? You know, and one of them was Taylor Swift when she was 14.
So he got to meet Taylor Swift.
So he got to meet her and see her perform when she was that young.
That's awesome.
And then she went on to become what
massive. She might be bigger than Elvis or Michael Jackson.
She's big. She can call shots. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate everybody in the chat room, but we love having you guys listen to this later. Thank you to everyone involved in this, including the makers of this show. And I mean, King of the Hill. We just so appreciate your show, and thank you for putting it out there for all of us to love. Can you tell them where to find us?
Yeah, you can find us at BWAAAKOTH on all social medias. I post clips of the show on those places whenever I can and have them available to me. So just keep an eye out for that stuff. And Wimatanye.
Wimatanye, indeed. See you next time. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it.
And if you're in the live right now, stick around, and we'll be here for a Friday episode.
Bye.
Bwaaa trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. Cat drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
All right, guys, if you're in the room, give us about a minute or so here. We're going to switch over and do the Friday episode.
Bwaaa trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. Cat drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
Hey there. What's
Hey.
up? Welcome to Bwaaa, King of the Hill podcast. I am Mike.
And I'm Rusty.
Rusty, we are here for That Ain't Right Friday.
It ain't right, and
ain't
it
right.
is Friday.
It ain't right. So what we're doing today, we're getting back into the swing of it. Rusty's getting over being sick and all that stuff.
Yep.
We've got the New Year's started. We're past the holidays, which is freaking excellent as far as I'm concerned. I love the holidays, don't get me wrong, but I'm glad when they're over because then we can get back into the actual rut of living our lives, which I am not opposed to a good rut. Today, we are doing 6 ways King of the Hill remains relevant today.
Yep.
This was, as of this recording, it was published 7 days ago by Marissa Manuel on the website Movie Web.
Which is a blog.
You know, the big
site.
Movie Web. It says, adult cartoon King of the Hill focuses on Hank Hill and no-nonsense propane accessory salesman living in Arlen, Texas. The new one is set to premiere in early 2025. It looks to modernize the series, hopefully not. But in many ways, the original is already very relevant to modern-day audiences. While the upcoming version will take place closer to present-day America, which it's not, and I like that. The original focused on political, cultural, and familial issues that continue to resonate with both new and old viewers. As we await the new series, these are just some of the reasons why the first King of the Hill is still so good today. Number 6. It still reflects American cultural and political dynamics.
I'll agree with that.
I think that is super true.
I'll agree with that. There's a lot of left and right, and a lot of sexuality, religion, race. You see. I think one of the funniest things is when they're meeting Khan for the first time, and Hank's dad rolls up. And he's like, oh, he's Japanese. And he's like, no, he's not. You're Laotian, aren't you, Mr. Khan? Like, he knows, he's that racist that he knows exactly what his ethnicity is.
So it mentions a few episodes in here. It says King of the Hill didn't shy away from political episodes such as The Perils of Polling, in which Luann registers to vote for a communist, and Hank is horrified to learn that Governor George Bush has a weak handshake. That's one that we bring up a lot.
I think that one's funny, yeah.
Additionally, in the episode Dale to the Chief, Dale is forced to confront the possibility that the U.S. government was right about the John F. Kennedy assassination, which leads him to turn over a patriotic new leaf. We have not gotten to that one yet.
We haven't gotten that far yet. I think that's I want to say that's in this season.
And then
no, it's in season 9.
And then it says other episodes also focused on most cultural topics regarding sexuality, religion, race. Such as My Own Private Idaho Rodeo,
which is the one where they
Dale's
meet Dale's dad
right?
who's gay.
Church hopping, which has a lot to do with religion.
Which is when the female preacher comes to the church and Hank's like, should females be preaching kind of thing. And then My Racist Dog, which is the Bernie Mac episode where Hank thinks that Lady Bird potentially could be racist towards the black handyman, but it ends up being the fact that it's just that he's a handyman that she has a problem because Hank doesn't like people fixing his things that he can't fix.
Yeah, that's right. And then the last one being Racist Dog, which I don't really. That's the one you're talking about.
That's the one I just talked about. Yeah.
Learning
Bernie Mac's episode.
It says, although largely Republican, Hank shows an openness to learn and embrace other viewpoints, which we have mentioned many times.
Which sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're
fine. I really think that it was great that they had Bernie Mac on the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's not somebody you would typically think would do a voice acting for a show like King of the Hill.
No, you wouldn't think.
But he came in and. Oh, no. Church hopping is when Hank gets mad about seating.
Oh, that's right.
I was wrong. It was about the seating, and he ends up going to different churches because he wants to sit in a specific seat.
So this says, although largely Republican, he's open. Largely true of the others on the show as well, at least when it comes to important issues, such as Dale, who has no problems with his dad being gay. Rather than encourage any singular viewpoint on these topics, the show portrays and dismantles political stereotypes, then has the characters center humanity as they attempt to better understand one another. That is something that we have brought up many, many times. And when people think of King of the Hill, they think of it as this backwater,
it's really not
red state kind of thing, and it is not.
Everybody tries to put it in the bubble of. Oh, Hank would vote for Trump and all this kind of stuff. But I don't know that he would or wouldn't.
I don't think he would.
I just don't think you could put that show inside of that bubble.
I think
It's
once he heard him
a
on
big show.
that bus talking about grabbing them by the whatever,
Yeah,
I
that
think
might,
Hank would have
yeah,
been
that
like,
might be
"There's no
enough
way,
for him.
there's no way I'm voting for this guy."
But I feel like the show like transcends one
It
political.
does. It really does.
It's not anywhere on the spectrum. It is like the whole. It encompasses all of it.
So it says number 5. It's bizarre yet realistic tone. King of the Hill doesn't hold back when it comes to zany antics, but it also tempers these scenes with real and relatable moments. From Dale having no idea he wasn't Joseph's biological father to Cotton's death. Cotton's death was a big deal.
Yeah.
These scenarios are highly memorable and based in reality. At the same time, the circumstances surrounding these issues, such as Dale thinking Nancy was impregnated by aliens or Cotton basically dying out of spite, add an entertaining twist. There is a precise formula here. It says King of the Hill's relatable yet bizarre formula didn't always land. For example, in the episode Pygmalion, which is one that everybody brings up, Luann is courted by a man named Trip, only to realize he's obsessed with her due to her resemblance to a woman from an ad for his company.
Very dark episode.
He later dyes her hair, dons a pig suit, and asks her to marry him. Horrified, she runs away, which leads to a bizarre chase that ends with Trip being impaled and presumably turned into a sausage.
Which is the dark.
It is
it's
a
really
dark
dark
episode. But I like it because of that. I think it's
I like
so
it. I
different
like it.
from everything else.
I wonder what episode it's in.
All right, while you're looking at that,
Or
I'm going to go to number
season.
4. It has-
Season 7, episode 9. So
okay,
we're
so it's coming up.
4 away from it now. Yeah.
I can't wait to cover that.
Yeah, I
It's gonna
like
be
that
fun.
one. Yeah, I can't wait to get on that one too.
Number 4, it has great characters. This is absolutely true. King of the Hill's
Well-rounded. Yeah.
well known for its characters, from Hank's son Bobby, who ain't right, to his wife Peggy, who is good at is as good at Spanish as she is at most everything else.
Which is not that good.
The
Yeah.
characters were often the focus of character-driven narratives that explored who they were, what they wanted, and what they believed. Always enjoyable, usually likable, and it's hard not to think back on these characters fondly and want to see more of them. Old faces, new narratives. It'll be exciting to see how these characters have evolved in King of the Hill reboot, but for now, it's more than exciting enough to look back on Hank and Bobby's relationship, Dale's conspiracy theories, and Peggy's hilarious escapades. Also, Peggy is an ass. Number 3, it can be genuinely touching. This is something we bring up all the time. Like the last episode we did. We just
it was a
brought that up.
touching episode.
It's always touching.
Yeah. It was a good episode. It was a good, Lady Bird's getting old, and a good episode of Hank bonding with his dog.
It says it can be over the top at times, of course, because it's an adult cartoon. King of the Hill knew how to deliver some touching, heartwarming scenes. For instance, in the episode Pretty Pretty Dresses, Hank helps Bill overcome his ex-wife's absence. And in the Peggy Horror Picture Show, a drag queen helps Peggy learn to feel beautiful. Plus, at the end of the series, Hank and Bobby bond over burgers, showing their love for each other is stronger than any differences. We have not done Pretty Pretty Dresses yet either, right? That's the one where Bill goes nuts and starts putting on Lenore's dresses.
No, we did that one.
We did
Season
do
3.
that
That was
one?
season 3.
Okay.
That was a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, that's see, and to me,
Couple years ago.
that's a dark episode also.
Yeah, it's kind of dark.
I mean, nobody gets turned into a sausage, but still, I think it's a dark episode.
I think it's a dark episode because it really
Bill
dives
snaps.
into Bill's sadness really,
Yeah.
really deep. Bill is so sad that he dresses up as his ex-wife and pretends to be her.
It's honestly kind of
That
psychosis is
that
what
is
he's got. You know?
really deeply disturbing.
I mean, hell,
Yeah.
Psycho, that's all it's about. Is
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So
Yeah, that's
it could
exactly
be
what it's
that.
about. Yeah. It's a guy
Uh,
pretending to be something that he's
that's it.
eventually not. Yeah.
Says, in addition to the scenes above, many episodes focused on familial bonds and how family was the most important thing. That is absolutely 100% true. Hank's love for his dog Ladybird. In the episode Texas City Twister, Hank tried to save Luann from a tornado. That's the one where he's naked hanging from the pole. Plus,
That's a good one.
Plus, numerous episodes involved him and Peggy supporting each other, whether that meant showing up for Peggy's Boggle tournament, which he finally did, or helping Hank through his unmentionable medical problem.
Yeah, his narrow urethra.
Narrow urethra.
Well, actually, she's there for a couple of medical. His narrow urethra and his long back disease.
Well, and his he has the is it the narrow urethra episode where he has the colonoscopy? Because she's there for that also, like watching it. She thinks it's great.
I think
she's
it's that
watching it.
episode, maybe.
All right, number 2, it strikes just the right comedic balance. This is absolutely true. Most, and I would say 90% of King of the Hill episodes strike the right balance, where it's comedy, sweetness, weirdness. It hits all of those things.
Yeah, no, that's what I like about the show the most is that it is a comedy show at its core, but it touches on so many different elements, of like real life.
Says, although tender and thought-provoking, King of the Hill is first and foremost a comedy. And just like with everything else on this list, it delivers on what it's set out to do. From Bobby learning to fend off bullies through a woman's self-defense class, as my purse, Hank being mistaken for a pimp, it's hard to find an episode that isn't funny. Better yet, the comedy is often subtle and understated, which I thought the dog, when we just did the dog dancing one, was very subtle. But it also knows when to go all out, like in the episode "A Firefighting We Will Go." That is the one. Oh yeah, you're right.
Season
Black
3,
Ant says
episode 10.
it's the unmentionable problem, which is where he's constipated. I forgot all about that. Yeah, but that's exactly.
Yeah, I forgot about
it's
that
the
too.
constipation issue. All right, and it says, of course, comedy is highly subjective. Absolutely. And not every joke will land with every viewer. However, it seems undeniable that there's an episode for most audience members. There's not an episode for most audience members. And the show isn't shy about poking fun at any and all topics, but in an even-handed, humorous way. The writing is fantastic, by the way.
The writing for the whole show is
writing is
fantastic. So if you're a writer for King of the Hill and you're listening to this,
Oh my God.
we would love
You were
to
so
chat
great.
with you about the writing of the show.
Yeah.
I reached out to a writer.
Oh, yeah?
What's his name? Hold on just a second. I think his name is
Bob Johnson.
Michael
Bob Johnson.
Yeah, Michael Jamin.
Michael Jamin Bob Johnson.
Jamin. Michael Jamin. He often is advertising his book on writing on
Okay.
social media.
Okay.
And I've reached out to him a few times with no success, but I would love to chat with him or any writer, really. I would love to
send me a link to his book. I would love to.
Yeah. I'll send you a link to it.
All right, and then number 1, see how it relates to other animated comedies, both from before and after. So many other cartoons have been inspired by King of the Hill. Boy, ain't that the truth. While they're not technically part of the same universe, watching all of them does offer viewers a more complete experience. For example, The Good Family, that's with an E.
That one was directly influenced by it, yeah.
Is in many ways the opposite of King of the Hill. We talked about that. While the latter satirizes more conservative views and lifestyles, the former critiques more liberal ones. Additionally, Bob's Burgers, often considered a spiritual successor to the show, might not have come into being without it. And I absolutely believe that.
I've never heard that take before.
Well, I'm just saying, without King of the Hill, I don't think you'd have Family Guy. I don't think you'd have Bob's Burgers. I don't think you'd have any of those big shows, because they did kind of cash in on a formula, which is the sweetness part of it. Family Guy maybe not, but joke, and just the popularity of adult animation. Honestly,
the middle.
Without The Simpsons and without King of the Hill, I don't know that you'd have all these other shows. As the new version of King of the Hill releases, it seems inarguable that the series will continue to shape animated sitcoms. Already, it's left a huge impression, and while the new version might be more modern, the original will forever remain timeless. And boy, do I believe in that.
Yeah, the Family Guy in the beginning, I feel like the first 3 seasons of Family Guy, but after
Black
that,
Ant
it just
had some
became
sweetness,
absolutely
at least in the
ridiculous.
beginning.
Yeah.
And then it just became insane.
It just became literally it's just gag after gag after gag. It's not really any story or anything.
Yeah.
Whenever they took away, whenever they took Stewie from being like this baby who was set out to kill his mother and turned him into this metrosexual, homosexual, whatever. Like, it was just really weird, the transition.
Like I've said before, the episode where Stewie and Brian go into the past to fight Nazis, that was my last one.
That was it for you.
I was done.
I don't watch
the same show.
I don't watch it anymore.
The same show.
I do appreciate some of the Conway Twitty cutscenes.
Oh, sure. Oh, there's some great jokes in it.
Yeah.
Great jokes, but
it's just jokes.
It's just all jokes now.
Yeah,
it's
just
not,
joke.
There's no real script.
No
it's
story.
all jokes.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you for joining us on a That Ain't Right Friday. We always love seeing you. Thank for you guys that stuck around from the Monday episode to the Friday
appreciate
episode.
You guys.
Thanks for sticking around in the chat room. Black Ant, Artie, of course. We had Gary Yap here. We had
Rusty Shackelford. My buddy Nod. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out.
A lot of people here, and we thank you for joining us. You want to tell them where they can find us?
Yeah, you could find us on social media at BWAAAKOTH. That's anywhere there's a social media. You can find us on Threads and Scoops and everywhere else. And if you could go check all those out, follow us on all those. If you could also like and subscribe this video and subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell, we'd appreciate that too. So there you go.
Smash that button. All right, guys. Thank you again for joining us. We love you all. Thank you. And we will be back on Monday. And there's just one thing left to say.
Oh, Wimatanye.
Wimatanye, indeed. See you later, guys.
Bwaaa trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. That drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
But it was like
Hey.
some weird shit I've never heard of, and I went and looked it up, and it was talking about like could cause seizures and
Yeah. No, I don't doubt it.
meningitis like symptoms and stuff like that. I was like, what the hell is this crap?
I don't doubt that one bit. Hey, guys, we're going to do the changeover and do Swimmer's Ear. Rusty's got to go. He's feeling a little puny. And so I'll get Mason to come in here with me, and we'll get this sucker going. Yeah.
The 13th is when I find out what's wrong with me.
Well, that's a hell of a day.
Yeah, I hope it's nothing. I hope it's something that they can medicate.
Yeah, me too. All right, buddy. See you later. Hey, it's just us now. Look at here. Let me change some stuff here real quick. Oh, look at that. Changed. Swimmer's Ear. You want to do Swimmer's Ear with me real quick? We are doing green beans. Does that make sense? It's all right. Let's do our show and then we'll worry about it. Hey guys, I'm gonna nod out here. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. I got to go do another show, and we'll come back and do a Swimmer's Ear later. If you guys are hanging around, please go check it out, and we will see you guys later. Bye. Say bye, Zach.